A story of intrigue and truth. Sally, Phyllis, and the dramatic plot. In the world of intrigue and strategy on The Young and the Restless, it's no wonder that plots are woven from the first handshake. The latest story between Sally Spectra and Phyllis Summers is a clear example of this. However, the confrontation between these two women is not just about the tension between them, but also a challenging psychological battle, leading to difficult decisions and truths that must eventually be revealed. So what happens when Sally plans to eliminate Phyllis and Lauren Fenmore makes a surprising request? Stay tuned. Sally and Phyllis, the inevitable showdown. Sally Spectra, who is used to big games and devious tactics, now faces a formidable opponent, Phyllis Summers. No one can deny that Phyllis is a strong, courageous, and adventurous woman. But these very qualities make her prone to causing strong conflicts. The relationship between Sally and Phyllis may have started out as a partnership, but once Billy Abbott entered their lives, things began to change. Sally could not stand Phyllis's approach to Billy, whom she had feelings for. Although she tried to accept the relationship between Billy and Phyllis, the tension grew when Sally realized that Billy was still in contact with Phyllis, which made her uneasy. Sally wanted to remove Phyllis from Billy's life, but she also had to face the fact that doing so might put her in a difficult position. Can she carry out this plan without losing Billy's affection and trust? Lauren Fenmore. Shocking request. As the story between Sally and Phyllis gradually becomes tense, an unexpected element appears. Lauren Fenmore. This powerful businesswoman is not only a person behind Sally and work but also a trusted friend. However, this time, Lauren makes a shocking request. She wants Sally to remove Phyllis from Billy's life and the company. This request is not only a big challenge for Sally, but also a dangerous step in a power game that Sally never thought of. Lauren wants Sally to carry out this plan not only for Billy but also for the safety and stability of the company. However, Sally must also consider the risks when carrying out this order. Will she pursue this scheme to maintain her position in the company, or will she back down? Lily and Damien, truth question. While the outside conspiracies are taking place, another confrontation is equally tense between Lily Winters and Damien. Lily, who always upholds the principles of fairness and family protection, will not let Damien escape responsibility. After Damien returns from Chicago with Nate and Amy, Lily decides to interrogate him herself to find out the truth. Lily knows that Damien is a person who is capable of hiding many secrets, and what he knows can directly affect her family and company. Can Lily draw out the truth from Damien, or will she continue to be deceived by his cleverness? While Lily continues the interrogation, Chloe Mitchell, Sally's close friend, is also listening to her complaints about Phyllis. Unable to bear Phyllis's presence in Billy's life, Sally cannot help but seek help from Chloe, who always knows how to find bold solutions. Chloe and the risky advice. Chloe, with her reckless and sharp nature, did not hesitate to give Sally bold advice. She advises Sally that if she wants to completely remove Phyllis from Billy's life, she needs to do something more drastic. Chloe believes that the only way to solve the problem is to remove Phyllis from Billy's orbit and make sure she never comes back. However, this advice is not entirely easy to follow. Sally can't help but feel apprehensive about doing this behind Billy's back. She knows that if she acts too hastily, she could lose Billy's friendship and even damage their relationship. Sally and the final decision. Although she is no longer the schemer she once was, Sally remains her true self. A determined woman who is willing to fight for what she wants. Despite the complicated relationships and dangerous schemes surrounding her, Sally knows that if she wants to keep her place in Billy's life, she must do everything she can to get rid of Phyllis. Will Sally have the courage to carry out her plan and keep Billy's affections, or will she be stopped by Chloe's warnings and Phyllis's threats? While Lily is determined to find out the truth about Damien, Sally and Phyllis are facing an inevitable battle. Intrigue, risky advice, and complicated relationships all push the characters into dire situations. The question is whether Sally can eliminate Phyllis and keep Billy's affection, and whether Lily will discover the secrets that Damien is hiding. All of these developments promise to create a dramatic and unexpected battle where cunning strategies, truth, and loyalty will be tested. Everyone is waiting for the final answer. Who will win, who will lose, and will relationships remain intact after all? In the scheming and conspiratorial world of The Young and the Restless, the decisions the characters make are never simple. Every move can have dire consequences, From changing relationships to making risky choices. The story of Phyllis Summers, Sally Spectra, Lauren Fenmore, and Nikki Newman in the latest episode is a tense and dramatic picture where loyalty, revenge, and political intrigue overlap. It's a tumultuous story, from the nightmare Phyllis endures to the strained relationships and the threat of loss Sally faces. Phyllis and the nightmare. The pain and cost of captivity. Phyllis Summers has been through a real nightmare during her time in captivity. Everything she endured during her days trapped was not only helplessness but also fear, loneliness, and betrayal. She was not only physically threatened but also torn by strong emotions. Phyllis, a woman who had always been strong and determined, now faced nightmares of loss and pain. Her time in captivity had broken her not only physically but also mentally, but things would not end so easily. When she was freed, Phyllis realized that she could not return to her old life. She was still entangled in complicated relationships, especially with Billy Abbott, whom she had always had feelings for. This relationship, already full of turmoil and complications, now became a highlight in the battle that Phyllis had to face with the enemies in her life. Sally and her concerns about Phyllis, a relationship in danger. While Phyllis is still dealing with the aftermath of what happened, Sally Spectra is facing an equally stressful challenge. While she may be worried that confronting Phyllis at this point is a bad idea, her scheming sidekick Chloe Mitchell doesn't think so. Chloe not only counsels Sally but also urges her to take strong action, especially since Sally's relationship with Billy is at stake. Sally is well aware that Phyllis is not an opponent to be ignored. She knows that if she stands still and does nothing, Billy will likely return to Phyllis eventually. Faced with Billy's uncertainty, Sally feels the urge to act, even though doing so could lead to a bigger fight, especially since she knows Phyllis won't give up easily. Chloe advises Sally to learn to be more assertive and not be afraid to fight for what she wants. However, Sally is also concerned that acting aggressively could damage the relationship she has worked so hard to build with Billy. Lauren Fenmore and the secret meeting. Concerns about Michael and Victor. In another tense development, Lauren Fenmore, one of Sally's closest and most trusted friends, is worried about a situation that could put her in a difficult position. Lauren is not only facing pressures at work but also concerns about her family. She summons Nikki Newman for a secret meeting where she will share shocking information. Michael, her husband, seems to have been doing dirty work for Victor Newman and may have gone too far in his schemes. Lauren worries that Michael is being drawn into Victor's dark schemes and could be in danger. She can't stand to see her husband in trouble, so she decides to ask Nikki for help. Although Nikki is someone who has a close relationship with Victor, Lauren believes that she can find a way to clear up the situation and keep Michael out of trouble. Lauren fears that if she doesn't act now, she will lose Michael to Victor's dark schemes. She hopes that Nikki, with her relationship with Victor, can help her find a way to stop this threat. Nikki Newman, loyal or betrayal? However, Lauren and Nikki's encounter is not simple. Nikki is a woman who is extremely loyal to Victor, and having to choose between loyalty to the Newman family and helping Lauren to save Michael is a difficult decision. Nikki knows that if she interferes, she may face serious consequences, not only for Victor but also for herself. However, Nikki's friendship with Lauren makes it impossible for her to leave her alone in this difficult situation. Nikki must decide whether she is willing to betray Victor, the man she has devoted her life to, or whether she will find another way to resolve the situation without damaging her relationship with Victor. Can Nikki find a wise solution to help Lauren without offending Victor? Ultimately, all the plot points lead to a dark point where loyalty and intrigue intertwine. Phyllis, despite her difficult days, refuses to give up and continues to cause trouble in her relationship with Billy. Sally, fearful of the consequences of her actions, decides to fight tooth and nail to keep Billy. At the same time, Lauren is trying to stop Victor's manipulation of Michael, and Nikki is faced with the difficult decision between love and loyalty. The story continues with internal struggles, tested relationships, and decisions that the characters face that will shape their futures. Friendship, love, and betrayal will be the factors that determine the final outcome of this battle. Will Sally be able to protect her love? Can Lauren save Michael from Victor's manipulation? And which path will Nikki choose to take without losing what she values most? These questions remain unanswered, but one thing is certain: this battle will continue with constant surprises. In the scheming world of the young and the restless, small decisions can lead to major conflicts, and seemingly solid relationships can change overnight. The latest story has taken viewers on an internal struggle between loyalty, friendship, love, and betrayal. With Lauren Fenmore, Nikki Newman, Sally Spectra, Phyllis Summers, and the conspiracies surrounding them, everything seems to be leading to an inevitable climax. Lauren calls Nikki, secret meeting and concerns about Michael. It all begins when Lauren Fenmore, a determined and intelligent woman, feels anxious about a situation she can't handle alone. In a secret meeting, she calls Nikki Newman, her best friend and one of the people she trusts most in her life, filled with intrigue. Lauren begins the conversation by admitting that there is an important reason why she wants to meet Nikki. Victor Newman. While it is not something Nikki has not heard before, this time the story takes a different turn. Lauren says that she is worried that her husband, Michael, is involved in Victor's shady plans and may have gone too far in his actions. Michael, who used to be a talented and trustworthy lawyer, now seems to be caught up in Victor's schemes that Lauren cannot fully understand. Lauren, who is a woman of vision and strength, fears that Michael may be in danger if he continues to work for Victor. This concern is not only about her job, but also about her husband's safety. Lauren increasingly feels that she cannot stand aside and must do something to protect her family. With Nikki's help, she hopes to find out important information and stop Victor before the situation gets worse. Lauren urges Nikki to help her investigate further what Michael is doing under Victor's direction. She fears that if she doesn't act now, Michael could be drawn into a spiral from which he will never escape. The big question, however, is whether Nikki is willing to betray Victor, the man she has devoted her life to supporting and protecting, to help Lauren solve this problem. Nikki's loyalty to Victor has always been paramount. But this time she faces a dilemma. Will she side with her friends and help Lauren? Or will she decide to remain loyal to Victor, knowing that it could hurt the people she loves? This confrontation is not just a story between two women, but also a struggle between loyalty and complicated relationships in the powerful and intrigue-filled world of Genoa City. Phyllis and the Nightmare, the consequences of captivity. While Lauren and Nikki are facing a tense secret meeting, Phyllis Summers, a strong yet mysterious woman, is facing nightmares she never thought she would experience. Phyllis, who has been in prison for a long time, now suffers the consequences of what she has been through. The nightmare that Phyllis goes through is not only physical, but also a fierce mental struggle. Phyllis not only feels lonely during her time in captivity, but also feels betrayed by the people she once trusted. Everything she has endured has made her weaker, but no less strong when she faces those who caused her pain. Although she has endured a lot, Phyllis cannot forget the people who made her go through miserable days, especially Billy Abbott. Phyllis and Billy's relationship has always been complicated and unpredictable. She feels that Billy's feelings for her have never really died, and that the relationship still has a strong influence on her. As Phyllis returns and tries to find her place in this powerful world, she realizes that things are not as simple as they used to be. Tense encounters, dark conspiracies, and betrayals threaten everything she has built. Sally and her concerns about Phyllis. The threat of an old relationship. While Phyllis struggles with her own nightmares, Sally Spectra is facing a bigger problem. Phyllis. Although Sally has tried to build a relationship with Billy, she can't help but worry that Phyllis might come back and take him from her. Chloe, Sally's best friend, did not hesitate to advise her to act immediately if she did not want to lose Billy to Phyllis. Chloe believed that if Sally just stood there and did nothing, Billy would eventually return to Phyllis, who always knew how to create situations that would make Billy return to her. Chloe urged Sally to be stronger and more determined, because if she did not, she would only be able to see Billy and Phyllis reunite, while she would be the one left out. Sally is worried about her actions and the possibility of losing Billy if she does anything drastic. But she also knows that if she doesn't act, she will only appear weaker in Billy's eyes. Power play, friendship, love, and intrigue. The current situation puts the characters in difficult situations. While Lauren is trying to rescue Michael from Victor's manipulations, Nikki is faced with a difficult decision about loyalty. At the same time, Phyllis and Sally are locked in a battle for Billy's heart. These situations will not end easily, and every decision the characters make will affect their futures. Will Lauren be able to save Michael from Victor's manipulations? Will Nikki betray Victor to help her friend, or will she continue to be loyal to her powerful boss? And will Sally have the courage to act and save her love, or will she be the one to lose in this power play? These questions are just a taste of what awaits viewers as the characters continue to face tense, scheming decisions, and there are sure to be more surprises in the upcoming episodes of The Young and the Restless. Subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with the latest news on our channel.